insanely bullish here. 48 to 72 hours. Once we are getting into this, from here I definitely expect a rejection. Beginning of the week, a lot of things can happen. Things can change really quickly. Bitcoin is really close right now to touch $70,000. Everybody's wondering, can we actually reach this level today? Will it be just a massive fake out? What's going to happen next year? I'm going to show you conclusive proof that I have found for the directional move that Bitcoin is going next. So don't miss out on this episode. Let's go. Thank you and welcome back here. I'm almost completely healthy again. I think tomorrow I will be fine. Let's jump directly into the DXY. The DXY is going to the upside. Bitcoin is not really caring so much about the DXY going up right now, but we are still at pre-market in the US, which means the market is not open yet. And once the US market opens, things can change really quickly. So I believe even though the market is going up right now, that when the market opens in the US, that we are starting to come down here and Bitcoin will actually go and touch $70,000. That's what I'm looking at. But even if we go a little bit higher and Bitcoin gets rejected at current resistance, it's not the end of the world. I don't believe that we are seeing here a massive rally in the dollar today. Worst case, 105 points, something like this. Then turn around again. And then we see our trade setup playing out. Then the CME chart for Bitcoin has printed a small CME gap that you should pay attention to. I do really closely right now. I have no orders around that CME gap currently because there is a chance that once we're coming down here, that we are actually going lower and also fill this gap down here. Sorry, that is actually the CME gap. This is our CME gap. So we have two CME gaps, one up there, one down here. They're almost overlooked. And that's why you need to pay attention to this. Because I think when we come down to fill this CME gap, we most likely also come down to fill this one here that we got from first day. Down here, there I'm willing to place a lot of limit orders. Up here, not so much. I want to see how the price is reacting when we are coming down to fill this. Again, guys, remember the rule of thumb, 48 to 72 hours. If it's not happening in that time frame, usually we are not coming back for quite a while to these gaps. So, but I would not rule out that over the next couple hours, potentially 2 days, that we are seeing price rolling over and filling these gaps here to the downside, and then we go and break successfully above $70,000 and stay also above $70,000. I have given already away the last two codes for last week on Prime XBT. Today, this week, I'm gonna get 2 new ones, guys. Again, $500 for you up for grasp here on Prime XBT. You remember I told you I'm gonna open a trade with $500 here to show you that you can make good money with small amounts. I'm up here right now, $140 roughly on my ton trade. I was up a little bit higher. I was up like 170, I think, on the highest. Here, if I have a stop loss, if I get stopped out, it's not the end of the world. I will walk away with roughly $100, which means I made 20% then on that account in a matter of a couple of hours. I opened this morning. So you see here, perfect entry from where I bought it. And then it started rallying to the upside. And I'm going to show you that within a matter of a couple of days, we can turn this into a couple $1,000. So now you missed out on this trade. This is not the end of the world, guys. So just keep watching. I'm going to post also on my Telegram and other social medias these trades that you are up to date and can follow them. But if you have no money right now and you need liquidity, go sign up on Prime XBT, deposit $100 to stand a chance to win $500. And with this $500, I'm going to show you that we can make nice amounts out of that really quickly. Now, when we are looking at the Bitcoin weekly chart, things starting to look insanely bullish here. With the new weekly candle, we are trying to break out of that right-angled descending broadening wedge that we have here on the weekly chart. Also, the current candle setup with the prior two candles are signaling currently continuation to the upside, which would mean that we would reach this week over $70,000 for Bitcoin. We're actually getting really close right now. Also, don't forget, we are right now in a big supply zone here. Big supply zone that could slam us down once we're reaching the $70,000 target, and then turn this whole candle setup that we are seeing right now in a reversal pattern to the downside. I'm not expecting this right now, but you should not forget we have also a fair value gap down here, which is kinda in alignment with the CME gap that I had just shown you. So keep stuff like this in your mind. You know, it's just Monday, beginning of the week, a lot of things can happen, but you see here, based on the textbook example, usually we should get a breakout. We are at the point where we are breaking out right now. And if we measure the target of that broadening wedge and put it to the breakout point. So again, $84,700. Remember guys, there are a lot of technical targets from other patterns around the $85,000, $87,000 level. So again, one more technical pattern on a higher time frame pointing to more or less the same profit-taking zone that other patterns are showing already for a couple of weeks here. Also, when I look at from on CoinGlass, who is driving the price right now, I can see that really clearly, and I'm gonna show it to you. You see here, open interest ramping up like crazy. And here you see also the cumulative volume data is spiking, but spot is staying more or less flat, but also the open interest, the funding rates are also going crazily up here right now. So what does that tell me? That tells me this move in Bitcoin currently is leverage driven. It's not spot driven. If it would be spot driven, then here the spot bits would look like here that volume delta. So, but it's not looking like this. So you see spot is more or less flat. Open interest in leverage is ramping up. So this is leverage driven. At some point, we're going to get a leverage flush. And I'm going to show you then the levels that I'm looking at from where I'm wanting to put in a new Bitcoin trade. Because right now I'm just waiting for that flush. I'm not interested. Bitcoin going higher. Yes, I have a trade running on Bitcoin. But am I interested to take at these levels a new trade? No, I wait for the leverage flush, and that's where I'm gonna get in. Also here on the daily chart, see we're scratching right now on this downward sloping resistance line. We potentially break it. I'm not saying that we will, but potentially breaking it. And if we do and can close the daily candle above that, then I might look at adding to my current positions at this level, wherever it might be then, but not before, because for the time being, I would say we potentially get a small rejection from here. Back to the downside, 66, 65, then come back up, consolidate, breakout, something like this. If we're breaking out right now, that's fine. That's fine. I'm in one trade already. I will open more trades and add to more trades if we get a daily close above here. Otherwise, I wait for a pullback, and there we are going to enter. Also, on this daily chart with the line chart, you see here we actually did not come back to the support zone to retest this here as proper support. Sometimes we just don't do that. But now we are moving up into the resistance area and getting closer to $70,770. Once we are getting into this, from here I definitely expect a rejection back to the downside. From there, most likely we get the leverage flush close to the $71,000 level. And then I'm looking for lower entries. I'm going to show you in a moment where I'm looking at. So here on ZoomX, again, guys, on ZoomX, you get $10 also absolutely for free just for signing up, guys. You just need to go to the reward center, to rewards hub, and claim then there your free $10. This is limited to a specific amount of people signing up, so be quick before it's gone. And you still get $45,000 worth of a deposit bonus if you are signing up on ZoomX. So you see here, I have one limit order around the $67,000 level because there is big support. That was a big support resistance zone priorly, as you can see here, resistance, 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 deviation, resistance. Then we broke it, then we confirmed it. So this is one of the most likely levels when we come back down to test and bounce back to the upside. If we're bouncing from there straight back, I'm gonna delete this order here and cancel it, and gonna look then for higher levels, potentially around the $70,100 level as the next bounce level where I'm going to add to this trade to the upside. But again, guys, don't forget, here in the last 18 days, we doubled this account already. So now I want to double it again over the next 2-3 weeks. Let's see how this is going. Then on the liquidation levels, also here we are starting to push now into the lower leveraged liquidity on the short side to take out all these levels here. And here again, there is a resistance at $71,500. That will be for me the final point from where we are going to see a turnaround. I don't believe that we are pushing much higher because there's just too much resistance and we're getting too much over leveraged longs already here to the downside. So it makes sense that we go up, tap something of this liquidity up here, and then come back down, take out all the latecomers with their long positions, reverse back to the upside. Also on the liquidation heat map, you see kind of the same thing unfolding over the last 3 days here. See here is a little bit left in terms of short concentrated liquidity on the 3-day chart, $70,300. Potentially will get tapped today, and then we have only liquidity. The biggest liquidity on the 3-day chart below us is around the $66,000 level. Hence why I believe that we will come down here at some point and touch this. Overall, on the 4-hourly chart, our trade that I gave you over the last couple of days here with that setup is playing out right now. Here, a word of caution, guys. Set a stop loss in profit. Set your stop loss slightly here around $69,200. So which is giving you a 0. How much is that? 0.7% buffer between current price and your stop loss. So, and you make sure that way that you are definitely walking away with 1% profit. Now, it depends on your leverage, 10x, 20x. If you walk with 10%, 20% away, it doesn't matter, guys. You know, profit is profit. Keep that in mind. And we are in a big supply zone with resistance here on the MDX algos, guys. That should be a caution sign for you to have your stop loss here in profit currently and not let it run like this, you know, because once this is turning against you, it can turn really bad and actually kick you out of your trade or potentially even liquidate you. So here on weeks, you can see my current trade is doing quite well. I'm almost up $5,000 on this trade. A little bit more than $2,000, and I'm also here at $400,000 total balance. That means we made $150,000 also on this account. So overall, already $250,000 in the last 18 days, which is crazy. In just 18 days, guys, that is a house, you know, or multiple houses in some countries that we made here. Again, if you want to trade on weeks, guys, you can farm an airdrop while you're trading. Remember, this was yesterday negative at $8,000. Now it's in profit. Plus that I farm an airdrop while I'm trading here. And you don't need a VPN, no KYC, guys, and tremendous liquidity. So I really like to trade here, guys. Go check it out and also claim whatever you can in bonuses. There's still like this Olympic game campaign going on where you also get some free money for doing certain tasks in the reward center. So go and check that out, guys, with the link in the description. Now, the Bitcoin dominance did yesterday not turn around. Today we're coming down a little bit, so I hope this is going to continue. But overall, I don't believe that we are going to see here a massive spike in the dominance because you see, at least not for today, because you see already Bitcoin is still going up. Dominance coming down, exactly what I was talking about a couple of days ago, that this is going to happen. And once this is happening, you're going to see certain altcoins spiking to the upside. So, and one of them is currently Ethereum. Ethereum is spiking. Look at that massive candle over the last 12 hours. We are back here in the golden ratio. I told you get in here yesterday even at $3,260. I said you will be fine. If you did, you would be up $160 right now on that trade, roughly 5%, which is already a really nice amount. Even if you trade with 10x leverage, you know, it's 50% that you made already on that trade here. I would keep it open because I believe that we are finally going up here, breaking that resistance at $3,500 and keep going higher into a new all-time, not directly new all-time high, but in direction of $4,000, hence over a short time period into a new all-time high here also for Ethereum. So keep that on your radar. So if you're now not in Ethereum trade and you missed this setup, wait that this 12-hourly candle is closing in the golden ratio, and then you can enter within the golden ratio and set your stop loss around $3,280. And then you can also still write this up to $4,000 if you came late. Telegram also right now at the golden ratio, we might see a rejection on the 4-hourly chart. Hence why I have a stop loss, 4 cents below current prices if we get rejected from here. But here's also still the possibility that we see continuation. Overall, you should be also up on this trade. Remember, I lowered the entry a little bit yesterday or the day before that, cannot remember. And you should be here also already in nice profits if you would have taken a trade with me together. Also here, if we hold the golden ratio, that is your secondary entry to trade this all the way up to $7.55, which in my opinion will happen quite quickly. Also, Arweave, remember, I told you, bounce from golden ratio, that is your entry. You should be also up here roughly 10%. So personally, I missed that, so I was waking up too late for this. I wanted to jump into this and I missed it, unfortunately. And this, trust me, this is going to run really quickly here to $45. So I hope you're in there. If not, also last chance when we are breaking above $33.17 and close a 4-hourly candle above that level. Last chance to get into this trade, to trade this all the way up to $45. HNT, still we are waiting what's going to happen here. I'm not liking so much how this is starting to look here, so we will be a little bit more patient. But Rune had a nice run here, guys. Look, if you got in here down there with me, or even here at $4.74, you are now in a nice profit. You see, we get rejected here from that supply area, from that resistance zone, which is absolutely normal. So I expect here a little bit more consolidation for Rune before we start moving into this. But once we're breaking through this, also here, quick move in direction of $6, you're gonna see it. So the indicators are telling us also we're a little bit overheated here on the 1 hourly time frame, but I think the 4 hourly is not looking that bad. Yeah, also here. So most likely some consolidation before we get continuation. In that consolidation, if we come down to $4.80, $4.80, if we would come back to like $4.80, there's your secondary entry if you missed that trade. Then ENS also pumping nicely to the upside. You should be in here already for a long time. On the daily chart, we're finally seeing a lot of signals here pushing us to the upside. Here also, if you missed to get in, potentially a pullback to $27 here to the 0.382 on the Fibonacci retracement level. That will become your entry. And just a reminder, these supply and demand zones that I'm using for my entries in alignment with the Fibonacci retracement levels are from the MDX algo, guys. If you want the MDX algo with a 10% discount only for you guys, you will never find this anywhere else. 10% discount, go in the description below to MDX algo. These indicators making me so much money, guys. All my Bitcoin trades that I made, I figured them out with the MDX algo, so you really need this indicator suite if you want to stay ahead of the curve and make a lot of money in this bull run. So also when we are going here to my Bybit account, here you see my Rune trade is now nicely up, which was almost $1,000 in the negative yesterday. Also, we're catching up here with my GRT trade. Finally, soon I will be out of it. Just need to be a little bit more patient to get out of it. Also here, guys, free money once again. Deposit $100, get $500 absolutely for free in an airdrop position on Bybit. Just sign up with the link in the description below for that. Take everything what you can when it's for free, guys. You can deposit $100, claim the position, withdraw it again. No problem, no issues. Bybit is not going crazy about this. So I spoke with them. Do that. Take as much money as you can with everything that is floating around right now, the $500 that you can win on Prime XBT, the $500 that you get free from Bybit, the $10 on ZoomX, you get already over $1,100 potentially here absolutely for free that you can use for trading. So you don't tell me that you cannot make money out of $1,000, So I have last summer with $2,000 made $200,000, So don't tell me you cannot make with these kind of amounts, big amounts later on if you know what you're doing. So take what you can get, guys. Now, next trade setup, Cody. Remember, I told you when we are coming down here to the 50 moving average, most of the time we are bouncing off that moving average. So that will become our next entry. So here I'm still waiting for this 4-hourly candle to close and see what the next 4-hourly candle is doing. If the next 4-hourly candle is bouncing off the 50 moving average, I'm opening a position, regardless where the price is. If we are bouncing, I'm entering. And you should do the same. The next one, Link, also slightly above our entry. We are getting here a small rejection because also here we are in a supply zone on the MDX algos. But also here, I see continuation to the upside. So you can wait technically that we come down another 6 cents back at the entry level because I think you're going to get another chance to get the entry level. So set a limit order here and then enjoy the ride all the way to the upside to $17 something. Also, my link trade is also starting to be less negative. Remember, this was highly negative at one point, like $5,000, $7,000. I'm still holding onto this trade and keep adding actually to this trade. Here on Margex, also here you can farm an airdrop if you trade on Margex. That's also what I like about them, you know, so that while you're trading, you actually get extra money doing that. So I cannot remember how much I farmed here already. I think like I farmed 10% of my balance or something like this. I have here 17,000, maybe even more now, $18,000. We have to check in the wallet now, because honestly, I don't know. Okay, so here I can actually not see what I got in bonuses right now. Honestly, I have to check. I'm gonna come back to this tomorrow and gonna tell you where I see where the bonuses are. But I know that I got like over $1,000 in bonuses here trading with my balance, and get here constantly airdrops while I'm trading, so which is nice. So then the next trade setup is AVAX. So for AVAX, we wait for the 0.382 level that we get above that. Look here on the daily chart, everything is telling us we are starting to flip bullish here. So just be a little bit more patient and we get a little bit higher to break above that resistance level here. Once we are doing that with a 4-hourly candle close, that's where you enter this and can trade this to $37. Again, guys, big trade setup here, 27% to the upside. Take advantage of that. Don't tell me that I did not tell you when this is starting to gear up and push to the upside. Ondo also broke finally the downward sloping trend line. Remember, I told you when we are breaking this, we're going to see a big push. That's what we are seeing here right now. We are slightly below resistance. That's why we see already here the reaction back to the downside. Rejection, not reaction. Rejection to the downside. I think this will continue a little bit because the indicators, at least stochastic, is overheated, wants to come down a little bit. MACD is still bullish. RSI going down. So a little bit sideways action. So if you want to enter Ondo, I would do it at $1.01. Most likely you get $1.01 and can still trade this then to $1.22, 23, which is still like 22, 23%. So you miss like 2-3%. Doesn't really matter. That's what I'm looking at. So and then GRT giving me here a reversal signal on the MDX algo gradient, which is of course not nice, but they don't have to be always accurate. Look here, reversal, then we keep pushing to the upside. So we just got a buy signal directly in our reversal signal. I don't pay a lot of attention to that. But we're of course in a supply zone and at resistance. But from the entry that I gave yesterday, if you entered here, you would be nicely up already. So just keep the trade, just raise your stop loss potentially to your entry level. Also, like I said, I get closer to my entry level and to get out of this trade. And then I'm gonna decide when I'm at the entry level to break even if I actually get out or let this run because it potentially keeps then pushing higher here. Again, the upside target is roughly 24 cents. What I'm looking at here, I think when I go to a daily chart, so we are just getting started here to get a nice break to the upside. So here you can also make the case that we have potentially a falling wedge, something like this here. So here's more or less a falling wedge on the daily chart. So once this is breaking out, potentially on Friday, Wednesday to Friday is where I believe that we're going to break here to the upside and most likely jumping straight here in direction of that supply zone. Guys, that's it already for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure that you smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I hope to see you tomorrow with more profits and more healthy again.